Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, we managed to get 2 of the 3 keys that we need to open up the final seal that leads to the imprisoned one. The 3rd key is behind this door and a puzzle, but we're not going to be taking care of that puzzle right now, because we have unfinished business on the previous floor. And no, I'm not referring to messing around with the controls of the Machine of Lum the Mad. I've got everything that I want from that. I'm referring to the Githyanki area, and an enemy that I decided not to even think about facing because I thought that foe would be far too difficult for our party to take care of. I, of course, am referring to the Demi Lich. Now, my thoughts about facing the Demi Lich were clouded by facing Demi Liches in 3.5 D&D, where they're exceptionally powerful. Do you remember the Demi Lich that we fought in Neverwinter Nights? If you've seen that Demi Lich was exceptionally tricky, and I only managed to defeat it by taking advantage of a flaw in the game's mechanics. This fight is going to be nothing like that one. The Demi Liches in Baldur's Gate 2 are far weaker, and I imagine that's also because of a flaw in their design. They're so weak, for our party at least, that we can take care of the Demi Lich with only Korgan. We don't need anybody else. We don't need haste, we don't need any buff spells. All we need is Korgan with Cromfeia. Cromfeia is very important to this equation because Demi Liches are immune to weapons that are lower than +4. Fortunately, Cromfeia is +5, and so it's time for Korgan to go and do what Korgan does best, smashing things into oblivion with a giant hammer. Let's go. Now, we're immediately going to pause here because the Demi Lich does have 2 abilities that are quite dangerous if we're not prepared. It can cast Imprisonment, and it can also cast a very powerful Death Effect ability. Fortunately for us, using Enrage to get Korgan to Berserk will negate both of these. And we can't really deal a lot of damage with each individual hit, but the chip damage will slowly add up. And it will add up even faster if we have a Simulacrum Korgan to help out. And with that, the Demi Lich has been completely neutralized. This shouldn't be how this fight goes, because Demi Liches, in the setting at least, are exceptionally powerful. Far more powerful than Liches. They have almost learned everything that can possibly be learned about magic. And they get rid of... and there's the Lich gone. Immediately giving us a huge amount of experience. This really shouldn't have been that easy, because Liches pretty much know everything about the arcane, and they're just scrabbling around for the final bits of information they need to have absolute mastery of all things magic related. Quite a lot of Demi Liches strive to become demigods by using their absolute mastery of their chosen profession to unlock the secrets of divinity. But this Demi Lich was pummeled into oblivion by Korgan, and Korgan just hitting it with a hammer a lot. It really should have used some of the many spells that it should have access to. But it didn't, and so we're victorious. I take back everything that I said before about the Demi Liches being tough, because this wasn't tough. It's over now! You can come in! We hit a floating skull a lot and then it died. Was that meant to be the Demi Lich? Clearly not the smartest of their kind. Now let us grab all of the loot, and there is quite a lot of loot here. We have 20,000 gold, that is the majority of our treasure. 57 gold, there is a gem, and there is what looks like a dagger, and a pretty nifty one too. This is the Dagger of the Star +4. Rumoured to have been dropped from the heavens by a careless lesser deity, this dagger is a favourite among thieves and assassins, as it will sometimes magically hide its user from the victim's sight. Combat abilities: 5% chance of making the user go invisible for 1 turn after each successful attack. That is really good, because each time you're invisible, you get an opportunity to backstab. Unfortunately, our team isn't really going to be using it, so into the bag of holding you go, and into the gem bag you go.
I'm busy, okay? I'm busy.
And there's something else. Yep, there's this that we can look at, and I'm going to guess that this is trapped in some variety. I'd be very surprised if it isn't, considering that we're dealing with a Demi Lich. The Demi Lich is only a skull here. Demi Liches do not have to be just a skull, though they typically leave that as the final part of their physical being. There doesn't appear to be any traps here at all, and there isn't a huge amount of loot here either. Just a few minor trinkets. We have a Skydrop gem, a black opal, a bloodstone amulet, one arrow of ice, which is going to go with the other arrows of ice, and one potion that does not go into that bag, me. It goes into that bag. And with that done, I think we can rest here quite safely. And then another Demi Lich appears. That would be quite terrible. But no, we're absolutely fine. So let us now go back to the 5th floor and save, because despite that looking like it was quite simple, it would have been a lot more tricky if we didn't have Korgan. The Berserk power is just really, really good. I keep saying that I underestimated Korgan, and have I underestimated Korgan until this playthrough. Korgan really has proven himself to be a phenomenally powerful warrior, for many reasons. With that Demi Lich out of the way, there is literally nothing for us to do here, but potentially get ourselves into a lot of trouble with this, and go to the next level. So let's go back to the next level. That machine is just going to happily whir away to itself forever, isn't it? I imagine it will. Okay, let us save, because I'm going to guess that there's going to be an encounter beyond that door. There was an encounter behind one of them, and while the other one didn't have an encounter, let's not presume that we're going to go 2 out of 3 in that regard. I think it's time to do a little bit of buffing. Mainly, we want a Simulacrum Korgan, and we want haste. We'll just get the haste spell. Why am I doing that? I have no idea why I'm doing that when I actually have haste right here. I should do it this way round. I keep forgetting that I can do it that way round. Alright, we have Berserk there, and Berserk there, and I think we're good. Okay, we have a Ice Golem. Should be able to deal with that using Korgan. We have an Iron Golem, a Sand Golem, another Iron Golem, and an Ice Golem. Okay, let us have at thee with Korgans and see how well we do. The answer is we are going to be doing pretty well, it would seem. Yep, we're going to be doing very well with just Korgans. That said, they are taking a bit of damage, but we do have potions to alleviate that damage. We've dealt with a fair few of them. What about the Sand Golem? Well, the Sand Golem is just gone. Now it's time for the Iron Golems. You're gone, and you're gone. Excellent. And I think you're poisoned, but you're the Simulacrum Korgan, so that's absolutely fine. Look at how quickly Simulacrum Korgan is taking poison damage. Yep, definitely going to perish soon. Nope, actually not going to perish now. Simulacrum Korgan ended up living, and this is what we came in here to look at. After we rest and get attacked by a few mutated spiders, which shouldn't be a problem for Korgan and Korgan. Yep, more experience for us. Also, how much did that 50,000 experience? It got us a lot closer to our next levels. And you are very close to your next level, 1,732, and you're 60,000 experience away. Not bad. We should actually wait until there we go, you've stopped berserking. Brilliant. Now, let us save before we look at this, because there's a puzzle here that we need to solve. And it's a puzzle that I remember the solution to mostly. This altar bears inscriptions referring to the skull of a noble warrior. You place the skull of the eternal warrior from your pack on the altar and activate its magic. You feel a small part of your own life force being drawn through time and space, then landing with an abrupt thump into a body that is not your own. Your true body seems paralyzed, almost frozen in time. Your senses are assailed by a strange double awareness. Part of you remains in front of the altar, but another part of your being is now held within the body of the Spirit Warrior. You instinctively understand that you can use the Spirit panel on the altar to control the Spirit Warrior body you now partially inhabit with simple mental commands. You look around you with your Spirit Warrior eyes and find yourself in what is obviously a dungeon. Implements of torture hang from the walls, and there is a pile of bones in the corner of the room. Welcome to basically a text adventure, a part that I really enjoyed when I first encountered it. We can only do what these choices say we can do, and not everything that we can do is good for us. For instance, I'm not going to be searching the room, because I don't think there's anything good to be gained from that. Instead, I'm going to be heading east. A red-eyed goblin jumps out from the shadows near the east wall. He gnashes his sharp little teeth in anger and anticipation. He bangs his axe against his small shield, issuing a challenge. The rooms are accessed via bridges, which means you can only take certain routes to get to certain places. As for this goblin, we could walk around the goblin, but I feel like we can take a goblin. So, have at thee! The corpse of a goblin lies in the middle of the floor, his axe and shield broken on the floor beside him. We're not going to be getting anything by exploring this room, so let us head east. It looks like there's something here that we want. In the center of this room, you see a large treasure chest. There are numerous bones scattered about the floor. And note that there is one pile of bones that is very obvious. If you think this is going to be a trap, you're absolutely right. But we have to trigger it to get what's in this treasure chest, so let's examine it. You cautiously approach the chest. With a swirl of centuries-old dust, the bones on the floor spring to life and assemble themselves into a large skeleton. The undead creature advances. There will be no parley here. We must attack the skeleton if we're going to get what's within that chest. Have at thee! You took a hit. We've taken a second hit. Looking at the shattered bones of the defeated skeleton on the floor in this room, you are certain the Guardian will not rise again. You may approach the treasure chest without fear. And we shall. Inside the chest is a wand of missiles. You pick it up and stick it inside the belt of your Spirit Warrior form. And we gained experience for that, enough that Dawn has leveled. I won't say no to leveling. Looking at the shattered bones, this is exactly the same. We don't want to do anything with the room now, so let us move to the north. We can't see our health bar, so we do have to be careful as we're exploring about. As you step inside this room, a growling war dog leaps out from the shadows. We have the option to use the Wand of Missiles. We are not going to use the Wand of Missiles. We're saving that for a very particular foe. Have at thee! Shouldn't be too tricky. I say that, and this combat's still going on. Fortunately, we prevailed. You step over the blood-soaked corpse of the canine who attacked you earlier. The room smells of wet dog. We're going to search this room. You find an iron key and a blue potion, which the Spirit Warrior immediately quaffs. Fortunately, the potion heals your wounds somewhat, and you tuck the iron key into your belt. It says fortunately there because some things that we can find will not be good for us at all, and the Spirit Warrior has no restraint. They will find a thing and go, this is a thing of poison, and then they will drink the poison, if you search for it. Now let us go west here. We're not going to go south. South brings us to where we've already been. Other than the manacles on the wall and a few gnawed bones in the corner, there does not appear to be anything remarkable about this room of the dungeon, which should immediately set off alarm bells saying there is going to be something of significance in here because you found nothing of significance. Stuffed inside a hollow bone in the corner is a scroll inscribed with an unfamiliar incantation and a picture of a gibberling. You decide to save the scroll for later and place it inside your pack. That gets you experience, which tells you that you have done something right. Now we're going to go west. Sparkling clear water cascades down from a sculptured fountain that dominates this room. Do not drink the water. The water is a trap, a very obvious one too. You think, maybe we can heal a bit from drinking this. Nope, that's going to hurt you. So, leave that and go north instead. There's nothing interesting to find here in this room, but it looks like there's going to be something interesting in this one. Uh-oh. As you enter this well-furnished room, a spectral figure in rotting rags materializes near the far wall. It points an emaciated, crooked finger in your direction and glides towards you. Have at thee! We are still going to save that wand. It is still very important. This is not the foe that we are to use it upon. We can take care of a ghost. Maybe. Possibly. You're doing pretty well, Spirit Warrior. There we go. With the ghost vanquished, you notice the many furnishings of this chamber. A table, a desk, bookcases, and several chairs fill the room. There is a small chest in the corner. We want to open that chest. Inside the chest is a magical helm. You place it on the head of your Spirit Warrior body, knowing the extra protection will come in handy. That it will. I don't think there's anything else for us to do in here, so let's go east. We don't want to tamper with any of the stuff there because it may get the ghost angry again. Ghosts have a nasty habit of not staying gone. There is little to distinguish this room from any of the others. There are exits on the east, west, and south walls. This room actually has nothing in it, unlike the room down here, which had the scroll. Let's leave. There's only one way we can go now. We're being funneled into the corner at the end of this corridor. This room is empty save for a small desk of fine oak in the corner. There is nothing on top of the desk, but there is a single small drawer which draws your attention. Get it? It's a drawer? Never mind. We can open this because we have that key. Through mental commands, you instruct the Spirit Warrior to approach the desk and open the drawer. The desk is coated with a powerful contact poison. Fortunately, the hardy constitution of the Spirit Warrior's body allows you to shrug off the effects of a deadly toxin. That's fortunate. Inside the desk are a pair of bracers. You strap them on and feel an instant increase in the combat skills of your Spirit Warrior body, which is very handy, and that also gives us some experience. There's nothing more we need to do in here, so let's go to the north. I continue being funneled this way. Uh-oh. A rabid gibberling rushes from the shadows to attack you. Its small body a mere blur of fur and teeth. It moves with such ferocious speed that retreat is not an option. We could attack, we could use the Wand of Missiles, or we could use the item that we found by examining that seemingly innocuous room before. I hope you have this, because it's not a good idea to fight here. With the gibbling disposed of, there is little else of note in the room. You get some experience for that, and there's only one way we really can go, which is west. We're nearly to the end, and you may be wondering what I'm saving that, wand for. It's not in here. You sense an ominous presence beyond the archway to the west, and an iron chest stands against the north wall. Let us search that chest. You carefully sift through the thick layer of dust on the floor, but apart from the chest and the ornate door, there is nothing else in the room. Oops, didn't mean to actually search the room, I meant to examine the chest. Silly me. Using the iron key you found earlier. Oh, this is where we used the iron key. My mistake, I thought we used it here. It's actually used here. You unlock the lid of the chest. Inside is a blue potion. Instinctively, the body of the spirit warrior seizes the potion and drinks it down, causing your wounds to heal greatly. Which is good, because we're about to fight the final boss of this puzzle. We're going to enter through the ominous archway. As you approach the door, a disembodied voice fills the chamber. The crypt beyond awaits. Once the threshold is crossed, there is no return. Thanks for warning me, game. I greatly appreciate being told there's no coming back, but we're as ready as we'll ever be. Onward, spirit warrior! To face a mummy. The smell of ancient death permeates this room. Standing upright against the far wall is a stone crypt with an archway leading into darkness. Carved over the archway is a hand with a single unblinking eye, gazing out from the palm, the symbol of helm. From within the darkness of a crypt comes the sound of slowly shuffling feet. The sight of a desiccated corpse wrapped tightly in bandages emerging from the crypt comes as no great surprise. You sense this is the final confrontation for the spirit warrior, and realize retreat is not an option. Despite the fact that there is a bridge right here, we actually can't run. I imagine there is a magical force that prevents us from doing so. This is where we use the Wand of Missiles. And have at thee! The mummy has weakened. Enough for us to finish it off. As the mummy falls, the symbol of Helm erupts into a blinding light. You feel the body of the spirit warrior dissolve, and your life force rushes back to your true body. As your life force is made whole, the strange force immobilizing your own body releases you. You notice a large key in your possession that was not there before. And with that, we conclude the text adventure portion of this floor. And we gain a lot of experience, and we have a level up to take care of for Dawn. He gains 1 proficiency point. What am I going to use that on? We already have 2 weapon style, longbow, crossbow, halberd, and 2-handed sword. You know what? We're going to give him a point of spear. Why not? As for abilities, I think a greater whirlwind attack might be handy here. We could always do with more of them. You only need 254,000 to gain your next level, and you are really close to gaining your next level. We also gained the Spirit Key. This key has the single word Spirit inscribed upon it. And so, folks, when we come back, we have everything that we need to get through this seal. Unfortunately, there is the minor problem that we're going to have to use the keys here, and using the keys is a very dangerous thing. Now, I know I said that before with facing the Demi Lich, but this really is dangerous. These are the final guardians, as it were, that prevent us from getting through the seal to the final floor. And they are nasty guardians. And we'll try and face them next time. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Are we ready for this? Probably not. Am I going to try anyway? Why not, eh? What's the worst that could happen apart from Terry dying horribly? Okay, that is pretty bad. Later.